episode of Clueless Cassie, where we learn about big people in history. I'm your host, Cassie, and today I'm here with Veronica Guerin. Please introduce yourself, Ms. Guerin.
Hi, like you said, I'm Veronica Guerin. I was the Sunday Independent writer in Ireland.
So, Ireland, did you grow up there?
Yes, I grew up in Artane, North County, Dublin. Please call me Ronnie.
Wow. How was it growing up there?
I was very well off. I played basketball and football. Well, you call it soccer. I was actually a founder member of the Killister Kittens.
Oh, really? You said you were a journalist. How did you get into the field?
Well, when I was freshly out of school, I worked for my father's accountancy practice. And after his sudden death 5 years later, I started working for my political party's election.
Wow. That sounds like quite the drama. How did you start writing for The Independent?
I had a few side jobs first. I started a PR company and a small vegetable shop, and then eventually I started writing a satirical gossip for the Phoenix.
Gossip? Now that I know. Where'd you go from there?
In 1992, I started writing freelance business. I would write for the Sunday Business Post. I got into some trouble there, though.
Oh no! How so?
Well, I published an intercepted phone call between two politicians, and it didn't go very well in court.
Oh my goodness. What happened next?
I joined the Sunday Tribune.
Well, where did you go from there?
Not much. I left the Tribune as soon as I got there for the reporting job at the Independent.
Oh. That's when you really got into journalism then?
Yeah, but I got in more trouble.
Oh my, you are the drama. Well, I think it's time for our sponsor break. And when we get back, we'll hear all about it. Hey everybody! Today's sponsor of Clueless Cassie is my mom. So ever since like the president's thing, there's been like a absence of people willing to pay me. So I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart. Thanks, Mom. Love you. Bye. Veronica, you were just talking about the trouble that you got into when you joined the Independent. Tell us, what happened?
Well, I got mixed up in some criminal groups. I wanted to expose who's really running Ireland. It was those bad criminal groups, and I thought I could do it all myself, but I should have had some protection. I was in the middle of applying through the Independent to have someone with me at all times, just in case, someone I was writing about tried to do something. But I had just gotten home, and my shoes were still on and everything, and somebody knocked on the door, and I opened it, and they shot me right in the thigh.
What?
Yep, yeah, it was pretty intense. And this was after they shut out my window. But I kept writing. Nobody can intimidate me out of what needed to be done.
Oh my God.
But all things at the end. One day, I was stopped at a traffic light. Two motorcycles pulled up and shot me 5 times.
That's crazy. You had quite the life.
Yeah, I did.
Well, that pretty much wraps up everything for this episode. Thank you, Ronnie, for coming on the show. And yeah.
Of course.
All right. Well, that's this episode of Clueless Cassie, the podcast where we learn about big people in history. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you next time. This is Cassie, signing off.